Today we will discuss the most important concept of Java, constructor. So in constructor, we have explained first what is constructor. After that, I explain why we use constructor in Java, some important property of constructor in Java. So first question is, what is constructor in Java? So constructor is a special type of method in Java. It is used to initialize the object at the time of object creation. The word comes initialization of object at the time of object creation. So what is constructor I do? So I have taken one example to explain everything in constructor. I have taken one example everything in constructor through example. Okay. So you have to write a class. First class name I will write student. In a student, I have write a student property first. So student have name, string, student name, and student have one more property, int roll number. Okay. So for these student name and roll number, we have to create a object for that student name and roll number in a main method. I have to explain everything in constructor through this example. Okay. So I have write a main method there. Okay. So in main method, public class main. Here we have write public static void main string of args. So for these student name and student roll number, we have to create an object for that. Okay. So for object creation, we have used one keyword, new keyword. New keyword performs the only for what? Object creation. So we write a keyword, new keyword, and the class name student. Okay. Student. Okay. Here was reference variable of student. Object we have to create S1 and the student. Okay. Student. So new creates what? New keyword creates the one object. So I have write a student objects here. Student objects. They have stored at the address of I think 1000. Okay. I have created a 4000 object for that student name and student roll number. Okay. So the first student name and roll number object create because of new keyword, the object creation done. Okay. So student name, student roll number. Okay. For what? Student 1 object. For student 2 object, again we have to write same thing. And for 4000 objects, we have to write same thing as 2. And here we have to write a student name, a student roll number for 4000 objects. Here is address of 4000, or you have to also declare that as 4000. So in your mind, one question is arises. For an object creation, you have to create object using a new keyword. So after the object creation, a student name, a student roll number have come in a student object S1, object S2, and object 4000. Both all are same. So you have to write a default value first. After the object creation, so one default value for null. Roll number have 0, a student have same null, also have 0. Null 0. So in your mind one question arises. For object 1, a student name has null and a student roll number has null, and And the last one, a student 4000 also have a student null and a student roll number 0. So all of these are same. So in a real world, can really exist a student roll number or a student name? A student name is null or student roll number is 0? No. All 4000. I have taken one example. In your college, a student have one name. A student name is Rahul. Okay. Rahul has name and Rahul have roll number 5. So in your class, 40 students are there. All students name are Rahul and all students have their same name, same roll number 5. So the problem creates. How can you know this is Rahul, this Rahul? How can I call the Rahul? Rahul come, who come? The problem is that. So this problem sort out through a constructor. Constructor is a mainly to initialize the objects, to initialize the value of objects. So I have write a constructor in a method. So we have to clear more about constructor. I have to wrap this thing. Focus. Write a full program. After the writing a full program, we have to clear why we use constructor, what is the need of constructor in Java, and how can we apply constructor in Java. Everything know after the program ends. So I have created an object before, so we have not initialized the value of object. Okay, so we have to write a class constructor first. So constructor student. Okay. So in your mind, one question is right: how can we write constructor in Java? Okay. So a constructor we have write using a class name. Okay. In a Java, we have to write a constructor using a what? Class name. So we have to write a class name using a constructor. We have to write a constructor using a what? Class name. So there are in a one or two property of constructor are also that constructor have no return type. Constructor have no return type. We have to not write their return type. Return type. This will not happen in constructor. Also, void return type also you have to not write in constructor. Void return type you have to not also use in constructor. Not. So using a class, only you use class name to implement a constructor, to write a constructor. This thing will be clear? So after that, in a student, this is a parameterized constructor. This is what? Parameterized constructor. Later we discuss the types of constructor, default constructor, parameterized constructor comes, copy constructor comes. So later we have to discuss. First, we have to write this value in the parameterized constructor to more clarity. So in a string, in a parameterized constructor, I write a string s name means student name and int roll number. Int roll number. So we have to write one keyword after the parameterized constructor. First we have to write the keyword. After I have write the keyword. After that I have explained you why we can write this keyword. Okay, so this dot student name equal to student name. So no, first I have removed this. After that I have used this. Student name, a student name. A student have roll number. Equal to student have roll number. Okay. So in these two lines, we have to see the student name is same. So you have to see the local value. This is what? Local variable. This is a instance variable. So in a program, local variable and instance variable both are same. So in the question in my mind, so how can which we can use? A student instance variable, local variable. But in a constructor, the local variable have more priority to write. So a student have written local, they have considered local variable, but they have ignored the instance variable. The problems create. Student name both are same. Which can I call? The problems create for me. So this problem is a shadowing problem in Java. Shadowing problems is a student, the local variable and the instance variable both are same for what? Shadowing problem in Java. To solve the shadowing problem in Java, this keyword comes. To solve the, I write there, most important concept, shadowing problem. To what shadowing problem? Shadowing problem that to instance variable and local variable both are same. Both are same. Compilers confuse which can I use? Compilers confuse. That's confusion after the using of this keyword. Okay, this keyword. So we have to write there this dot student name, this dot student roll number. So after this, what is this? This calls a current object of the. This calls what? Current object. We call current object of student. Okay, they have called a current object. So what is this current object right now? The value of student roll number is null and 1. So current objects equal to a student name. We have to pass the parameter, right? So student current objects convert into a student name. Student name. This comes, this value. Okay. So in your, I previously I explained you what is constructor. Constructor is nothing but initialization of object. Initialization of object at the time of object creation. Whenever we have write an object, at the time of object we have write, that time we have to initialize the value. Okay. So I initialize the value first of student 1. Okay. I have to have more clarity. At the time of object creation, at the time of object creation, at the time of object creation, we initialize the value of constructor. That is called constructor. Okay. So string name is right, Sunny. Student name and the other roll number we have take 10. So we have to initialize after we have here student 1 has not. So after initializing the Sunny or name, this value comes and here student name. Student name becomes what? Sunny. And student roll number 10. So this dot student name means this calls a current object of the instance, current object as dot name, the Sunny comes to this place. Okay. A roll number also same things happen. So after the object creation, so what we learn in constructor? Constructor is nothing but at the time of object creation we initialize the value. So how we write constructor? Constructor write as the class name and the constructor of my name both are same. In constructor there is no return type, and also we have not considered void. Okay, so object creation are done. So how we can call object after that? Right? So remove these things. I write student as a setter method. After that, we get a value using a method. I have write to that a method, a return type void display in display method print system.out.println. Okay, system.out.println. Okay, void display name. In that method we have to print a student name. Again, SOP of what? Student roll number. After creating a method, I have called the method using a constructor. Okay, I call the method in a constructor. So after that, S1 dot void display for a first object create. So in my mind, I have write a one object. After that, again we have write objects. So student S2 again we create a student S2 equal to new student. That we have initialize the value. We have write Rahul and roll number left like just 10. Okay, so for Rahul also we have same thing there. In object creation we have to write in a first. I have again S2 dot display 1. Okay, display 1. So Rahul comes here again or in a string as name, and roll number comes here integer number. We have to again this dot as name. This dot means they are called current object, and also they are called current objects. Okay, so in this program I have teach you how we can write a constructor. So how can I write a constructor? Using a class name. I have write a constructor. Okay, after that we have parameterized constructor. After that we have initialize the value. Okay, so